Okay, yeah. Previously, I was working on refactoring and doing adding various abilities to the current project that I've been working on. I've been following Mr. Taft Creates YouTube tutorials, which have been incredible. They've been really, really good and insightful. Unfortunately, he hasn't really done anything extra for a long time, and as I've mentioned previously, I'm just a bit concerned. But uh, his Discord is still active, so um, yeah. But that's besides the point. I won't go too much into it. I found another tutorial um, from a channel called Chris's Tutorials, um, and he did a hour and a half crash course in Unity, which covers a lot of the stuff which I already have learned, but within the interest of learning slightly different processes, I've I followed the entire tutorial to the letter, and I found a load more new and different ways of doing things, which I wasn't learning, I didn't discover while I was following Mr. Taft Creates tutorials. As you can see here, I've only got 3 scripts compared to the 50 or so scripts I had. This is because it's a very small project. I haven't got any scene transitions. We have got a virtual camera as governed by the cinema machine. I have got a player prefab and some slime prefabs, which are the enemies. I've got grids, I've got ground, decorations on the ground, and collision objects. Something that I found quite interesting was that the artwork that I'm using, even though it's 16 by 16, exactly the same as what I was using for the Mr. Taft Creates tutorial. These ones I haven't set, as you can see here, I haven't changed the pixels per unit. I've left that as is, as 100, and obviously I've gone to the sprite editor and I've done all the splicing, etc. I've done all the animations, so I've got all the animations for the player character. Also, what I thought was pretty good, it fits here. I think it's at the bottom here. No, it's not. Where is it? Can't remember where it is now. There was, I think it's on main camera. Pixel perfect camera. Yeah, I didn't know this. There's a pixel perfect camera, so it actually upscales the rendered textures, the texture render, I mean. And yeah, so it kind of remains true to what it should look like, which is great. I'll probably implement that in the Mr. Taft Creates tutorial series that I've been following. There's a lot here that I've kind of learned. So I think it's a good idea when you're following a tutorial, is once you've kind of got to a certain point, you definitely want to go back and you want to kind of go over what you've learned. Maybe even look at another tutorial series so that you can learn different processes. For example, if we go to here, which always goes out of the focus, my player controller. Now, bearing in mind, I was doing some refactoring in the last one. This one kind of is already kind of all. This doesn't require refactoring because this just governs movement, including just base attack. But the sword attack, which is here, is its own separate script. Now the cool thing, now this is what I kind of thought was, and it's going to really help me out in something that I'm working on at the moment. Instead of so what I did in another project that I started work on, I brought some assets. They look really cool, but all the characters are facing in just one direction. But in script, what I can do is I can just add, and this is really cool. Instead of having to copy, what I did is I took the artwork that I had and I went into Critter, which is like a free version of Photoshop, and I mirrored it. And so I was I'm doubling the amount of workload I needed to do for like animations and everything like that. So I thought that's what you would need to do. But I don't need to do that, because what you can do is you can, if I can find it, yeah, I can, in the method for the fixed update method, I can add a little bit here, an if and else, if else argument, to flip the so it takes a sprite renderer here, which I've so here you go, there's a sprite renderer within Unity, and then what it does is it flips it on its axis, so it kind of mirrors it, which is really, really cool. And it's the same thing for attacks. So I've got, instead of having multiple hitboxes for the attacks, I can actually I'll demonstrate. I won't maximize. I'm using the PlayStation 5 controller for this one again, instead of using a keyboard, because another thing. So there's so much I've covered. Sounds like I'm waffling on a little bit. I apologise. I mean, I'm actually still just recording this for myself, as to document what I've done. Is, yeah, I've actually already got, yeah, there's a player input function that I've added into the actual player, which it governs a lot of the stuff. What it does, it calls upon all these various different parts here, which means, like, say, for its on move, so it governs its movement. It also governs like its attack and cancel and stuff like that. If I go here, let's go to hitbox. Now, you probably won't be able to see it, but govern the transform position here of the x-axis, because that will go from 0.11 to minus 0.11. So it will go from right to left, left and right, which is really cool. So if I go here, and I won't maximize so you can actually see it. And also the box collider will go off and on. There'll be like a little tick box. So yeah, there you go. And I really like this art style. It looks very similar to what I was using before anyway. We've also got some enemies, these slimes, which look cool, kind of cool. If I get close enough, yeah, you can destroy them. So there you go. It turns the box collider off and on depending when I attack. It also changes the orientation of the box collider itself, which is the sword hitbox. So anything within that hitbox, if it touches the hitbox of, say, this collider, I need to be quite close, so I'll probably change the collider, but I have to be really, really. I can also walk through it as well, because it doesn't have a rigid body, I don't think. Oh, he's dead, isn't he? It's gone. I killed the slime. Okay, so yeah, if I go here and there you go. I have to be very close to these slimes in order to kill it. And there you go. So yeah, that's. I mean, it looks like I've stepped back a little bit. I haven't. This is more a case of just, you know, there's no boundaries on here. I may just add boundaries. I might just take what I like from the previous tutorial and just kind of slot it in there. Like I might just yeah, because I think the tutorial I was following, it got to the point where the project was just there was a lot of redundant parts to it. I was having to refactor loads, and yeah, I kind of thought, yeah, fuck it, start afresh, and then I can just go over what I've learned. And yeah, this is pretty cool. I know it's been a bit of a long video. If I go maximize and then yeah, there you go, and yeah, kill that slime, kill that slime, kill that slime. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm quite impressed.